That's better. Re'eh anochi noten lifnechem hayom bracha uklala. See, this day I set before you a blessing and a curse. So when I was in 3rd grade, I had a teacher that I can honestly say despised me. Granted, I was a difficult student, frequently interrupting and always the one to point out when the teacher had made a mistake. A pleasure in class, I'm sure. During a meeting with my mother regarding my behavior, in an effort to discredit my intelligence, the teacher showed my mother a drawing I had done, with the colors on the drawing all wrong. My mother immediately retorted, "Maybe he's colorblind." Sure enough, on a visit to a doctor a few weeks later, the diagnosis was confirmed. I failed the Ishihara test where you have to identify digits within the different colored dots. So this is my curse. How has it affected my life? Honestly, I never really thought of it too much as a burden. It does get annoying when someone finds out and immediately asks you to identify a color. My go-to answer is typically cadmium red, shade number 5. Another popular question, how do you know what to do at a traffic light? My answer is simple. I memorized the order of the lights. Green on top, red in the middle, yellow at the bottom. Okay, you guys got it. I was seeing if you're paying attention. Also, at college, I was getting my degree in electrical engineering. To know the value of a resistor, there are several colored bands on each to let you know how many ohms there are. A resistance meter and masking tape became my best friend in lab. There are an estimated 300 million colorblind people in the world of varying degrees. I don't see black and white only. What looks to you one color can look different to me. Typically, I have trouble distinguishing colors, and I try to use logic to guess what it is. Sometimes those assumptions can get you in trouble, as I would typically assume a man would wear blue or red, and not purple or pink. But it's not an exact science. A few months ago, I had an eye exam and received a new prescription. I had heard about this company called Enchroma for a few years now that had lenses which could help colorblindness, but I didn't want to order something expensive online without trying them on. There are 2 stores in New Jersey that sell them, and fortunately, one happens to be located in Summit. So on a nice day, Marissa and I took the trip there. I met with the optician, and he gave me the colorblind test to confirm my diagnosis. I'm a strong deutan, which is a red-green deficiency. He also steered me towards another brand called Colorlight. This brand has different levels of lenses for specific color blindness that can be put into any frame you choose. I put on this sample rig where he could put on different tinted lenses in order to test. I sort of looked like a Borg from Star Trek. And at that moment, my world changed. I started staring at everything, amazed by what I saw. But what took my breath away was when I looked out the window. I had to run out the store. It was the first time I had ever truly seen a blue sky. Some people say these make me look like Elton John. If Rabbi Olitsky were here, he would say Scott Summers or Cyclops from the X-Men. They've caused some great conversations as people ask me about them, or awkward moments when I was staring at someone's sequined rainbow-colored pants at a Pride event. I can now also appreciate the beauty of the stained glass windows around the sanctuary. One question I frequently get asked, what was the first movie I watched? While I'd love for it to have been a Star Wars one, there isn't too much color there, mostly blacks, whites, and grays. We watched Avatar. While still not a great movie, watching the true color of it was truly spectacular. I got to appreciate the beauty of the gardens at Epcot earlier this year, as well as see fireworks on July 4th as they were meant to be. Reflecting back on the first verse of Parashat Reeh that I started with, what does it truly mean to see a blessing in your life? As most of you are aware, I lost my father 3 weeks ago. While this was and still is an extremely difficult thing to get through, you can still see the blessings around you. I have a very small family, but we never felt alone. Our house was full of people who constantly not only knew and loved my father, but who were there to support us. My mother's best friend for over 60 years drove from White Plains, New York daily to our house to keep her company because she knew she needed her. Seeing a blessing can be both literally seeing God's creation in its fullness, as I am now with colors, but also seeing and acknowledging the blessing in your lives. There's a Hebrew verb that is a deep kind of seeing. It literally means to recognize, lahakir. From the same root, we have hakarat hatov, translating to recognizing the good, a Hebrew idiom for expressing gratitude. How do I recognize the blessings in my life? I always try to express gratitude, whether it's helping out the community or just being a good son, brother, husband, and friend to all. finding ways to pay it forward and support others. Shabbat Shalom.